And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Songs of Six. We're going to get our pottery industry going here. And then we're going to bring in a bunch more people in an attempt to get up to 1,000 pops and enable a bunch of technologies for application. So what's the big... I'm going to need another import depot. Let's grab another import depot while we're waiting for things to build. This one's going to be importing tools. Yeah, over here we're building a pottery. We're going to build a warehouse to handle clay and pots. More housing, and then this will import tools. I might actually set up an export depot and export the excess pottery. We'll see. In fact, I'm so certain we're gonna have some excess pottery. I'm gonna set one up while I'm thinking about it. And now that I'm thinking about it, I'm gonna plan another loading station. Lots or something we may want to ship around via loading station. We're hanging out here watching the construction occur. Because obviously the first thing we're gonna... I have to futz with the warehouse a little bit. The pottery is just gonna be fine. The moment it's done, the 36 workers, they'll be fine. And you are gonna import tools. Yeah, 20% tools. And then you are gonna export pottery. When we're over half the storage on pots, let's say. And then my central warehouse here. I don't have pots in the central warehouse. Okay, so you're not going to be importing pots. So I'd have you... Think of having you assigned that you assigned to get pots. Oh, I suppose we didn't have pots in any of the warehouses yet. So to demand pots elsewhere around the city, I will have to... Oh, I have pots. One of them has pots. You're the only one requesting pots. Okay, well that's fair enough. That's one of the ones I'm going to want. We're wanting to request pots anyway, so that works. Can I knock one of the ones out of you and replace it with pots? Sure. Drop a level of furniture, or level of wood, and request pots. And then I'm going to put a pull request on you with the requirement that the only thing you are pulling is pots. Only pull pots. Which might seem a little weird because the place doesn't have any pots yet, but... Okay, and then you want half your inventory to be clay, the other half to be pots, and the 21st slot to be tools. And then I think you have the grab ability. Yeah, you have the grab ability to just pull it off the ground over there, out of the clay pit over here. Okay, you have all the way to grab the main warehouse, okay. And then you're actually, I think, my main clay warehouse. Pulling off the ground. So that means you probably want to pull... Got multiple warehouses that have clay. 600 storage there. 300 there. 300 there. So yeah, that's probably the main one. Pull from there if it's until basically you're full, right? Because you're supplying to the potters. We know this is 36 more jobs, so I can probably just accept having another 50 people move in. Yeah, let's go up to 800. To be fair, from a food perspective, I can accept another, like, 200 in the city. Yeah, another 200 in the city with, like, no problems, so... And I think I'm still building more... multi-crawlers? Yeah. Housing's fine up there. Okay, down here in the city, we might want some. In the old city, we might want some more housing. New city's pretty good. Old city's a little housing sparse. Yeah, we make enough clay to run the potter, so that's good. It'll take a while for the potter to sort of catch up. So for the moment, let's set you really high, like 80. Because I know I've got things around the city I want to spend pots on. Like markets, there's 56 each, I think, on each of the 4 markets. We don't have the toilet upgrade yet. We get that at 1,000 pops. Not because it requires 1,000 pops, because I need 20 innovation, and we're gonna get 30 with the next, when we hit 1,000. So when we hit 1,000, we're gonna get 30, so we can do posh and refined tastes. We're gonna get knowledge, so I can do healthcare and medicine. Okay. I'm going to raise regional troops, and once they're deployed, it'll actually take the last 100 of our city troops back to the city. And yeah, I suppose... and we'll have the remaining city troops coming back. That's what we'll use to get up to 1,000. So in the meantime, let's upgrade the markets. As pots become available. Yeah, so also probably going to want to load her up here. Although we got meat pretty distributed around the place, but we'll do another planned loader. Up by the meat warehouse up here, so I can transit meat about the city. Because one of the things I might decide to do is start getting rid of the multi-crawlers out in the open. especially these two along the coastline. Oop, health's a little low. Corpses. Why do we have a bunch of corpses out in the streets? Because we have a bunch of accidents nearby. No one's taken the time to haul it to the graveyard. Fair enough. Running out a little running low on burial sites. Regular burial sites. I guess we probably need the graveyard. Before I accidentally plow those bases over, let's assign a forage order so I can't just accidentally delete them. I might want those when it comes time to start fiber crops. Let's get a few more burial sites in, because apparently we're showing signs that we're short on them. And a few extra grave diggers would not be amiss if we were running actual short on burial sites. Because yeah, we got adequate mass graves, and the mass graves aren't full, so it's people deserve to actually be buried in the burial sites, and I don't have enough capacity to deliver them to their final resting place. Problem. People display disaster struck someone else for once. We can get more migrants. Not that I need more migrants. Okay, you have received your regional troops. Let's call back the city troops. Call them. They'll be back in 6 days. And when they do, we'll hit the 1,000 population level. Which reminds me, I'm still in the middle of trying to upgrade those marketplaces. Here we go. All 4 marketplaces upgraded. The next 3 services we're literally waiting on the troops to get home for. Three natural, 2 accidents. I think we're doing a better job of getting them cleaned up, which appears to be the case because health is rising. Yeah, here we're back over 1 health. This is the other reason we want physicians. Physicians is a 4x multiplier in health, so that'd be nice. Feel nice. Okay, so we're mostly just waiting for those troops to come back. And then we're gonna get a flurry of potential upgrades. We got toilets, we got refined taste, healthcare, medicine. Yeah, we're not good potters, but we're better than nothing. Yeah, maintenance is not small. Right now, the only thing we're doing maintenance on is actually the 4 marketplaces, right? Well, that was something like 200 and something pots, so... Yeah, I guess maintenance is quite a bit of labor and resource consumption if we're consuming 2 pots a day on a 200 pot construction maintenance. So something like 1% maintenance per day. Much better. We got the corpse dealt with. Now we got more graveyards going. And the army hasn't returned yet. 2 days. Improve their training. And we are saving the pottery up at this point. The upgrades to the toilets are going to want pots as well. I might not have enough toilets. Yeah, I might not have enough toilets. No, it's mainly the main town that's having issues with toilets. Or the fact that it only has 1 for the entire main town. Old town has 1 toilet, yeah. 1 down there with the crafting sector. Oop, I think that's the troops returning. There's 1,000. A new level has been bestowed upon your name. Lick it. 30 innovation, 30 knowledge, 5 additional nobilities. So we're going to use that to get posh, healthcare, medicine, and refined tastes. Tempted to do organization. We'll hold off a little bit on that, because we've already kind of worked out that we're going to do the organization, which then is going to give us more humidifiers, which is then going to let us do more organization of the city even bigger, and yeah. So I think we actually want the first 2 levels at the same time. Yeah, and back here in the city, let's, obviously the 5th toilet isn't complete, but we can upgrade the existing ones. And then we're going to want some hospitals and some physicians. I'm going to design them up here, and then design them over here. And then we'll probably copy paste the rest of the town over. Okay, health, hospital. Probably start with the good old-fashioned, make it square and then round the square. Okay, so it's 3 by 5. Or if I go double thick, it is 5 by 5. Does twice as much. So I should probably go with this type of bed. Where possible. I can make it to that thin if I wish. Okay. Okay, that doesn't quite work. Make it taller, move the beds up in the middle. So I can do 2 support pillars in the middle. And if I'm going to do that, I probably want to center you guys up. "28 patients, 7 employees." Is that going to be round enough? Suppose there's one way to find out, and that is to actually build one. You know, I will go ahead and build one, and then we will see if it is round. If it is round, we'll copy and paste it. Okay, it's a foundation issue, that's... And then across the street, while we're waiting for that to build, we'll, in health as well, build the physician. Okay, so the workbenches basically need side access. And then the shelves have 1 tile that needs access. Okay. Yeah, and like that's going to be the most optimal size. So looking at something like that, if we're doing something like that, I can put, as long as I'm careful where I place it, support pillars in the middle, like so. And then obviously we want to round this building up. That's probably not rounding it enough. Yeah, that's probably not rounding it enough. Oh, there's another way I can go about rounding it, right? I can do divots in the middle. Okay, then I still need to get enough shells in to get the quality up. Okay. That's not going to be enough. I do both ends. I'll take a little bit of road up, so I'll probably want to move it down one to do that if we're going to do that. It's not workbenches, shells, please. Okay, that gets me within 10. I don't need this to be symmetric, right? So I can do... No. We're doing symmetry because the symmetry looks nice. Assuming that doesn't break up the roundness. Use that to accentuate the roundness by doing that. There we go. That will definitely work. That's... I suspect that's more round than the hospital. It's probably more capacity than we need, but it's more round than the hospital. Oh, and thinking about it, we want to probably stay at our current population. Let's set you to 900. So the population stays stable. In the meantime, the toilet... Okay, the new toilet has not yet been built. And yeah, we were shape. Oh no, those are both round. Okay, so we're good. We can copy and paste those to meet our healthcare desires. And from a hospital desire, they want 14 caretakers. That means my hospital's too big because I want 3 of these to distribute across the town. I suppose that's a good problem to have. I would actually like it to be... Oh, I don't need the woodcutter anymore, do I? I can make do without the woodcutter. Yeah. 16 wood when we're getting 250 something in taxes. You're getting dumpstered. Goodbye. That clears up space. And that's a perfect spot, I think, for the hospital. Oh wait, it's between the clay mine and the stone mine. Can I get the physician to fit in that hole as well? I don't think I can get both of them to fit in the hole. It's one or the other. Yeah, it's one or the other. The physician I'm more interested in spreading out. Put the physician down here. And I suppose based on where I'm putting this hospital, this one's probably fine. Maybe don't need to. Because the second one would be for over here, and we're close enough to the bridges that it's close enough. Of course, the hospital system. No, PM, please. So yeah, the second one done, we'll have adequate target caretakers for the hospitals, physicians. We're going to build 3 of those, which probably is enough for the city, at least in the short term. Toilets are improving. Those obviously haven't been in for very long. For now, and so we can pass out that upgrade. And the last one to improve is the food stalls. And the food stalls actually aren't that big, so they're apparently cheap enough to rapidly upgrade. There we go, all the food stalls upgraded. We still got good surplus food, and we're almost about to have another battery crawler complete. I think with that one done, we'll disassemble the ones on the river. Free up that river space. And maybe flood more of the coastline so I can do more fisheries. Which, while we have free workforce, means it's a good time to do that up here. Flood the tip up here. Maximize our fishery space. Oh, I didn't leave any space for the ground components, although I can just delete one of the pumps in 2 locations. Maybe even just 1 location. And that'll be enough. Oh, at the same time, I have 5 more potential nobles. What do I want the nobles to work on? I'm thinking something like clay and pots. Probably want a second governor, even though we don't need the second one yet. Okay, so there's our 5 nobles. 5 additional nobles. We're going to put 1 on... Or people do like gathering clay, so I'm thinking clay. That'll make us way over supplying the clay, but then we can just build roads to our heart's content. We'll put 1 on pottery. Again, probably overdoing the pots, but it's fine. We can export pots. We want 1 more governor, and then I don't know what we want for the last 2 here. Our guys can't ride horses. The Garthimi, they're one of the few races that won't ride a horse. If we were going to make wood, we'd probably do lumberjack. Yeah, I'm looking at the list here, and I'm not seeing anything that it just, like, I have to have right now for 9 and 10. I could double up 9 and 10 like I just did the second governor. on an industry that required or could benefit from more in the short term. Baltic crawler wouldn't be terrible. Baltic crawler wouldn't be terrible. And then whenever we get the promotion, we can promote the Baltic crawl and free these two up. Yeah, I like that thought process. Let's do that. Let the meat flow. So now we're making hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of extra meat that we don't need right now. Although, do I have what it takes to upgrade the warehouses? I do. Ooh. Because that's, max tier is cut stone, pots, and furniture, and we make all of that. Although we maybe don't make as much furniture as we'd like, but it's because we're bad at it. Okay, so the main meat warehouse. Go big. Go real big. You're one of the secondary warehouses. We'll upgrade you too. You're another major meat warehouse. Upgrade you. I don't need more fish storage yet. That's what we'd be doing there for. I do you for meat. You're also my grain warehouse, so yeah, let's upgrade you. Don't need to upgrade the stone, although I could upgrade the stone. Oh, you're doing the first upgrade. Take the first upgrade, and sure, take the second upgrade as well. That's the OG warehouse. Yeah, upgrade their OG runs. And there we go. So much more capacity. We will let the meat pile up in the warehouses. I've got far more meat stored than we need from food days. Although well, no, we're a long way off from getting foodie. One of the titles requires, you know, like 40 food days. The Gourmand. The Gourmand! No, not... Wow, I was underestimating 40. 50 food days. And 2,000 people. We're not quite there yet. It is a nice minus 5% hunger. That's pretty strong. Fully upgraded, that would have been a minus 10%. Okay, we got a nice productive city. We got 120 free odd jobbers. Oh, that batty crawler is actually done. So yeah, with that done, we haven't moved enough animals in yet to really get it going, but with that one done, also with the yeah, 25 more workers there. Yeah, these small ones are these ones on the coastline are gonna go. It's bye-bye time. Smart remove. These are like the OG Baltic crawlers that we're getting rid of here. You know what? We just don't need them there anymore. So there you go. Slaver has arrived. I'm not very rich. Yeah, I'm not very rich at the moment, so I'm going to resist the desire to acquire specifically more researchers. Could pick up humans for some research, but no, I'm going to resist that. Offering his goods. I am not wealthy enough to buy your stuff. And the slaves I'm probably the most willing to sell, which would be the Garthimi themselves, aren't worth very much. Might want to pump down here somewhere. Let's do planning, get a couple of pumps down here in planning mode. And then, yeah, we're going to flood most of the coastline down here, put more fishing in. Space around them. Around the field. Nope, that's all on planning. Oh, that's not great. You know, actually, as long as I'm careful and don't hit the pumps, this will be fine. It wouldn't actually be the end of the days if I did hit the pumps. Do that. Let's refurbish you right now and actually take that off. That way I can flood the coastline there. And we're on planning, so it's not going to do anything. There we go. Okay, and then we can refurbish this again. Take advantage of the new expanded fishery space. Yeah, the expanded one here is going to require more auxiliaries, but that's kind of expected. There we go. I'm on planning, so it's not happening. Activate the job, please. How's housing looking in the area? Housing's pretty good. What's the price on cut stone? Looking a little... Actually, we're suppressed at the point where we're not trading cut stone anymore. Which is a potential concern. That's probably why we're not very rich at the moment. Let's be fair. That's probably what's going on. I'm at the point where I'm only importing tools and metal, so that's not too bad. Thing is, I don't need those like every single day. Okay. And then I'm going to want enough for the warehouse, or the stockpile and the auxiliaries. So we do something like that. We get a fairly large stockpile here, wouldn't be too bad. Do something like that for the stockpile. And the auxiliaries. There we go. Another 8 fishermen will work there. And I'm thinking the rest of this empty space probably wants to get used as housing. Because at some point, we're going to have a lot of people working in the stone mine and or the clay mine, and we're going to need more housing there. So even if we don't need it now, I suspect we'll need it in the future. This is still covered by the existing janitor. Yeah, although we're getting closer to the point where if we continue going that way, we need a new janitor. My stone warehouse upgraded? It is, but it could probably be upgraded. Well, we got the pottery to upgrade it again, so we'll upgrade it again. So we've got a place to store all the stone that's coming in. Got a lot of stone coming in. Yeah, I suppose we're at the point where further expansion probably wants either more innovation or more knowledge. So everything up here is more knowledge. We don't have... We got 8 insane people, so I'm not desperate for more sanity. Empire expansion is obviously knowledge. Wells is knowledge. Denser housing is knowledge. Improved hearths. Oh, I haven't done any fancy benches. I should probably do benches. And I do have enough for the schools. I could do schools, although we didn't do schools because I don't have paper and I don't have enough wood to do paper. That's why we're not doing schooling. Yeah, that's why we're not doing schooling. And there's always saving up for the improved laboratory. Although it doesn't make sense to do the improved laboratory until we actually have more labs. And I think we're definitely in the space of we want more innovation first. So I could definitely innovate up more, bring more people and do more innovation. Because we're making lots of food. I got 37 food days, and people don't need to eat that much. And the food's going up by a surplus 150. So I can support 300 or more people on the current food. Oh, rations. Make more rations. We should be expanding the grain farms. That's what I should be doing. Okay, let's finish this episode off by expanding grain farming. Swapping the soil type because I can check. Yeah, as long as the soil is appropriate. This is all appropriate. This is all till and ridge. Okay, so everywhere along the canal works. Yeah, everywhere along the canal works here. Probably just make the, let's pick somewhere. No, I do want it in that corner. So, that fine, yeah. How far down can I take it? That far down. And because that's along the canal, that's perfectly fine. If I stretch east, still fine. Not sure how far east I can go and it'd still be fine. That's too far. That's because I'm too far off of the canal and the native moisture of the area is too dry without canal water. I suppose the bottom corner there probably is... Okay, that works a little bit. Here we go. 12, almost 15 well, 12, almost 13 farmers. It'll actually round up to 13. So that's going to take, you're going to produce 206 grain per day. It's going to technically make a harvest every 16 days. That should work reasonably well. And then obviously I want another, continue following the canal along here. And then again, we can sort of kick it wide like so. There we go. Perfect moisture field along an existing canal. Otherwise, what I'd say is a very good use of space. It's tempting to also build on the west side of the farm. For the moment, I'm going to do a copy-paste of warehouse. One of our sort of dedicated warehouses designs. Copy-paste the furniture warehouse over here. Close to the north, or put it close to the south? I'm going to put it close to the north. Yeah, put it there. Do you want the other side of the river as well? Tempted. Well, it's kind of impinging on my hatcheries here, and I think we are going to want another, like, pair of hatcheries at some point. We'll see how much grain this is making first. That day, the Master of Masons has passed away. Just replace him with some random guy. It'll be fine. And our native population is growing. So the reason we're doing this is... if we can find a ration maker. There's the bakery. No, that's not the ration maker. There's a ration maker. Is the recipes for meat and fish require herbs, and we're really in the wrong climate for that. And if I'm going to be making rations, I don't want to be importing a component of it. Otherwise, I would rather import the rations themselves. Okay, so that's about another 18 farmers. What's that saying? And we were working off of the assumption... I forget the ratio we're working with. It was, yeah, so it was, take the number of farmers, take one off per farm, divide by 2 is, I think, the ratio we're working with. So that's why we've got 10 bakers and 10 ration makers. So I can technically extrapolate that to the next one, the next 3, or the next 2. We've got ourselves another, what is it, 28, so let's say 26. So we want like another 13 bakers and 13 ration makers. That's close enough to the existing bakery ration maker ratio that I'm just going to copy and paste the old ones. Call it good. Actually, leave one thing of tools in there. Eventually we might do farming tools. And this is a farming warehouse. So your job is grain, 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 lots of grain. These fields, and I'll do the math here, is, look at the existing one to figure out what the workforce was per day. So 23? Let's say 24. Round up. So 24 per day times... Well, that's not going to work well, because that's, That's 24 divided actually by 9. So it's like saying 2.66 a day. Because we're bad at it. Let's be fair, we're bad at it. Okay, this is actually better soil, so we're gonna get a better bonus here. Yeah, we're gonna get a better bonus here. That shouldn't be complaining about bonus. Okay, so we should actually be getting pretty close to 3 per field. That's why we're dividing by 2. That's why we're dividing by 2. Okay, so 3 per worker. We'll say 28 workers here. We'll keep the higher value. Times 16. So we're gonna be making, I'll just double check that again. So it's 3 times 28 times 16. About 1,344 grain every harvest season. This warehouse will hold that. In fact, I could demote it and it probably still would. Because it copy and pasted the upgrade on the warehouse. So 6,000 is fine. We'll roll with that. That's a big enough warehouse for the amount. Okay. And then we worked out we should have enough. Employ more than 50 in our grain farms? Yeah. Should have enough workers or grain being produced to support 2 of these. I'll actually shove these in and along the mountain. It technically won't be round in the mountain, so we'll have to do... Actually, probably if we're going to be doing things in the mountain, I should probably stick to square buildings, and then I can do the things I'm doing over there. Okay. Cross the canal over here? Sure. We'll do a bakery, kind of on the other side of the canal here. And then we'll do... No, you're not going to copy and paste with your extrusion, your rounding extrusions, so I'm going to have to pick you up like so to get those. And then I probably do want another warehouse to bring grain to them. Yeah, that warehouse will work. I can take the tool and take the weapons out of it and call it good. Close to the road, or no, I want it up this side. I think that'll work. And then I might put more grain farms again along the canal here. Accident, the stone mines. Not super surprising as we get more and more people working there. So yeah, we're actually sustaining our population purely through growth at the moment. Immigration should be keeping us at 900, so it has to be growth that's keeping the population above 900. Okay, so obviously we're not doing clothing up here, so you don't need the clothing. You don't need the leather, you don't need the weapons. But your job is definitely ration making. Oh, well, I need you to also be grabbing some grain. Because your other job is to grab grain from the grain warehouse. It's available for the baker. So, you grab the grain gets here. Bakers grab grain from you to make bread. You grab the bread from the bakery, and to serve as an extra buffer on the bakery. Ration maker grabs bread either from you or from the bakery to make rations. Rations get shoved back in the warehouse for storage. Good old circle there. Now that's only going to double the rations, so that's actually an argument that I should be making more. Because our hungry army wants more and more rations. No complaints yet. Of course, our only import, I think we're running 3 different imports. So depending on how the pricing is, we're importing rations, metal. Well, actually, we're importing 4 things. I probably should get more exports going. Yeah. Or I need to get more, need to do even more farms than that. But it's come up on the hour, so I think this is a good place to stop. That, I think, assuming this is properly turned on. You're making 7. Why are you only making 7? Because only 5 people have hired up. Should be making like 18. Okay. Oh, apparently I will need you, take a couple of ration levels off, grab a couple things of lumber. And we'll even go so far as to say, you go grab lumber from the warehouse down there. In case I need more lumber up there to keep the bakery running. It's either... I don't know, you're the one that's always bread. Unless we're going to bring in things. Could swap you over technically to coal. Use a half a unit of coal instead of a full unit of wood. And it'd use a... Actually, would do another thing of grain. Not too worried about that. And yeah, the other thing is I probably could do more farming. Again, we could run the other side of the road, get more use off the canal coming up here. There's obviously more in here and more in here. I want more stuff. And this is actually pretty good soil. It's rich in here, rich in here, rich in here. This is all rich. And okay, over here it's a little bit of rich. I think there's some till over here. Yeah, there's a little bit of till here. Yeah, pretty good soil. We're not great farmers. Although as we acquire more slaves, the slaves might be better farmers. But yeah, I think this is a good place to put a part break in. We'll make the decision on how I am going to balance the budget in the next one. We've got a couple different ways. One is make more of the stuff we're importing so we don't have to import as much. That would help balance the budget. The alternative is do more exports. With the current trading partners, cut stone doesn't really offer any more value. Oh no, we are at the point where we are exporting it again. We set the price min to 90. In theory, we're actually exporting at 103. So we're making money on that. So we could maybe get a little more off of that, but we did have it stop for a while because we dropped too low. Pots I haven't put a limit on, although... Yeah, let's set the... We're going to set a limit here. We're going to set it... we haven't exported any yet. I'm going to set the limit to 76. Don't go below 76. So there's not much breathing space in the pots, although we can export some pots. But yeah, we've got options. I can make my own fabric, so we're not importing that anymore. It probably isn't worth the effort to do metal right now. And if it isn't worth it, well, it might be worth doing the effort to turn metal into tools. So we import the metal to make the tools, and then maybe even turn around and export the tools. But that's something we could do. That could be one export we could do. Another one we could do is we're close to the Sicilian ore deposit. If I can resist the urge to try to mine the entire thing at once, we could probably get a pretty profitable Sithlan ore mine going. Especially if I was willing to trade one of the nobles over. I could even take the governor role off. Like, let's say we take the governor role off, put a Sithlan ore mine large enough to mine 50 Sithlan ore. 50 workers on Sithlan ore. That would be a pretty profitable export. Sithlan is quite valuable. You could make a decent amount of money with that and use that to continue to afford buying rations. I could just build more rations as well. That's an option. And that's what I've got to decide between effectively now and the next one. If you're watching on YouTube, there will be a part up tomorrow. And in fact, probably by the time you were watching this, tomorrow's part has been recorded. If you're watching on Twitch and you want to leave a comment that's responded to live, now's the time to put that comment in. I haven't seen any since Don Shingles talking about Kryptonians at the beginning of the stream being good farmers. So if you've got any comments and you're watching live on Twitch, now's the time to leave them if you want them responded to. I do try to respond to them live when I see them. If you're watching later on the Twitch VOD or watching later on YouTube, feel free to leave comments on YouTube. I do try to respond to all the comments over there within at least a couple days of them going up. Assuming they're at least on topic. There's been a couple of them been off topic from months ago that haven't got responded to. But most of them have been responded to within a couple days. Just a reminder, I am streaming this live to Twitch under the username WillCole, and I'm uploading a local recording that's recorded in 1080p and 60 frames per second for upload to YouTube. Because I'm recording ahead for a trip, I'm going to be a little bit farther ahead than normal. Normally, I tend to be only 2 to 6 parts ahead, depending on where we are in the cycle. I'm preparing to be away for about 2 weeks. So I'm trying to record at least a week ahead to minimize the amount of downtime, because I'm going to be out for 2 different weeks. So I'll sort of catch up a little bit in between, but I suppose if I'm recorded far enough ahead, I'll try to get the distance a little bit farther during the break between them. But that's why I'm recording ahead. I hope everyone has been enjoying. And yeah, if the decision I've got between this play session and the next session is how I want to deal sort of with the disconnect, let's say, between our revenue and our expenses. We're making revenue from cut stone, and given enough time, we'll be making revenue via pottery as well. I could probably actually lower the stockpile on the pottery to get it to sell. Stockpiling on the pottery. I don't think I need thousands of pots sitting around. But even that's my 2 exports at the moment, and we're trying to import 4 different things. Now we don't need very many tools, and we don't need very much metal. It probably wouldn't be a lift to ask to make some fabric, right? We just get some cotton, get some fiber coming in from somewhere, and we can use that to make some fabric. We're not even bad at making fabric, we're just not good at it. But yeah, I hope everyone has been enjoying. If you're watching on YouTube, probably a part of tomorrow. If you're watching on Twitch, let me go over the stream schedule. At the moment, to get recorded ahead, I'm recording 4-part sessions on a 3-day rotation. So today with Songs of Six. Monday, we will be back to Endless Legends. We're going to see if we can finish Endless Legends up on Monday. Tuesday, we're going to be back to Shadow Empire in the Republic DLC. We're about 5 victory points percentage to go to victory, so it's likely we're going to finish during the stream. When during the stream, I'm not so sure. I'll plan on having something available to stream as soon as that run ends. I haven't decided what that's going to be yet. And then Wednesday, we will be back to playing Songs of Six, where we're going to see if, well, besides sorting out that funding imbalance, we're probably going to get rid of the guy between us and our territory. It's probably time for this guy to be evicted. The only reason we're not doing it right now is betrayal. A lot of betrayal points. Mostly worried on betrayal on surrounding factions. We would like to keep these guys over 1 point. I suppose if I want to accelerate the war footing, I could set up an embassy and I could have raised these guys' opinion. That's how we would do it if I had to run more betrayal. Basically, assuage the fact that we're not coming after them before we declare these guys. And yeah, if we get rid of these guys, that then means we have, I was about to say, we have access to the large neighbor to the east. But the large neighbor to the east has fallen apart. We might be on the warpath next stream. Let's just say that. Another avenue has opened up that I did not realize. Next stream of this is going to be interesting. So until next time, I'm going to wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part and or stream, and bye for now.